Thanks a lot one more time for inviting me. This session is mostly on how we can integrate OpenAI in different ways into Power Platform, but the focus will be mostly Power Automate flows. I will be able to demonstrate things which we can do integrating OpenAI in Power Automate flows in a simple way. Instead to use, for example, Power Platform virtual agents or some other vertical solutions, we will be able in simple way to integrate Power Platform with OpenAI, different models from OpenAI, not only ChatGPT. And I hope it will be interesting for most of you. This session is not up to prompt engineering. That means we will not talk about how to optimize requests for some specific cases with OpenAI. This is different content. So let's start. I will make just very high level overview around OpenAI because I think most of people working on data platform are already aware about this. So we will have after this short overview mostly use cases and demos. I will try to spend probably half of the time for this presentation on demos, and really I enjoy demos because demos demonstrate much better some specifics. We will see what is the slight difference if we are using directly OpenAI Consortium API, or if we go via Azure OpenAI and make deployments there, especially related to specifics that we can boost the productivity because we can have management of the number of tokens, and we have small differences, of course, in the API. We will see how we can have several general types of functionalities related to chat functionalities, generation of images, and also it will be good to have some insights how API on low level works. So I will make some demos also with Postman and Visual Studio, and after that we'll make the same with Power Automate. And we'll also integrate Power Automate flows with Teams instead to have virtual agents and some more complicated solutions. You can see how with very simple techniques you can make actually chatbots using only Power Automate flows and integration with OpenAI. And probably will share some additional details around other options to integrate OpenAI in Power Platform. So that's the overview. About OpenAI concepts, I will just explain few things. This is really the biggest worldwide currently neural network, and most of the people using OpenAI actively in interactive mode, but not so many people have experience for integration, and especially integration with low code, no code. This is what I will try to demonstrate. Most of samples actually use GPT-3.5 models, but I will explain specifics also when we are using GPT-4 and what we need to make to be sure that we have this functionality because it is available only in some regions. About Microsoft, probably you know also that this a big partnership between OpenAI and Microsoft actually uh, gave this very good possibility to have separate API via Azure and to be possible on consumer level, I mean, for integration of different platforms to use flexibility and to boost OpenAI functionalities with higher performance because using OpenAI consortium API, we have some limitations and we need to go to specific tailored cells for your solutions if we want to have some better results. So when we are calling directly OpenAI, it is simple. Probably many of you did it. I will demonstrate. The most important is to create account. Probably most of you already have it. To get secret key and to have some small amount of money, of course, for testing because API is not possible to be tested for free. Unfortunately, using this approach, we have some hard limitations regarding to the performance, and we cannot go into much deeper analysis without additional implementation outside of OpenAI. I mean, to make completions customs and to clarify our requests and to split the content to many small requests. When we are using OpenAI, it is really useful, at least for me, to know how API works. I again will demonstrate it after several minutes. We'll demonstrate how to create simple requests, and after that, this request can be uh, implemented one-to-one into Power Automate flows using HTTP actions. Unfortunately, for OpenAI Consortium API, there are not Microsoft-based libraries for .NET. There are only third parties libraries. I'm using for some demonstrations these libraries, but actually you have no need to use wrappers to integrate OpenAI into Power Automate flows. You need just to know how API works. When we are talking about Azure OpenAI, the good thing is that, as I mentioned already, we can have different technique to boost the productivity. That means we can use different number of tokens, and it depends on deployments which we are using. How it works, we need to have first general configuration, something like a logical container of Azure OpenAI, where we need to choose the region. Choosing a region is important because in some regions GPT-4 and some latest models are still not available. If you need to use specific models, it is important to consider this. And after that, for each of these regions, when you have already Azure OpenAI service set up, you can have deployments of kind of proxy models for each of machine learning models which are available in OpenAI for the region. These proxy models are like web apps internally, these are web apps implemented in Python, and they allow to have access to the neural network in a API into specific region. When we are using also Azure OpenAI, it is possible to make with few clicks using the playground. I will demonstrate also this chatbots, which we can integrate into different applications. These chatbots have no common with Power virtual agents, and charging keys up to charging model for Azure OpenAI. So we will see this a little later. Regarding to OpenAI and GPT-4, only several regions are available for now. Before September, you needed to have two subscription. First to apply for Azure OpenAI, and after that to be included in the OpenAI service for GPT-4. Now you need just to apply for OpenAI, and GPT-4 is already available in the specific regions. We will see how to create different requests. This will be done on the demo in different ways, using .NET, using direct RESTful requests, and how to integrate this functionality into your Power Automate flows. And we will have generation of different content, images, and text. About integration with Power Platform, there are actually several different directions. We can integrate OpenAI from one side into Power Automate flows, and Power Automate flows are the backbone also when we have logic in Power Apps. So considering Power Apps and Power Automate, this is the main approach. We have also integration with AI Builder. Unfortunately, integration with AI Builder is a little bit difficult for demonstration. It is not available for trial accounts, and for AI Builder for each tenant, when we have a paid account, we already cannot have trials for AI Builder. What I'm trying to say is, if you want to test OpenAI with AI Builder, it is better to create separate tenant and to make for some period of time paid subscription. But most of functionalities you can use directly from OpenAI, and this is alternative approach. About Power Automate virtual agents, this is a separate option to use ChatGPT directly there. I will not demonstrate integration with virtual agents, but I will show chats realized in different ways, directly in Azure OpenAI using Playground, plus chatbots realized with Power Automate flows and integrated with Microsoft Teams. Usually, when we are using Power Automate flows, we have two different options to integrate OpenAI functionalities. One is using HTTP action. I prefer this option because it is possible directly to translate the experience with REST API. And second, it is possible to use GPT actions, which are available from third-party vendors. I think from Microsoft we have no in release still such kind of components, The difference is that when we are using GPT actions, we have no need to know some details about API, but all the rest is the same. So I will demonstrate different cases related to um, integration with both directions, and you will see how it works. So I will keep some details about OpenAI and AI Builder for the end. And now I will switch to demos. Demos will be um, probably around 10. I think we have enough time to make these demos. I will start with actually Postman, but before to start with Postman, I would like to share a little bit more information how we are able to build OpenAI service in um, Microsoft Azure, because probably not everyone still did it. So I will now actually switch to Microsoft Azure Management Portal, and I already have several services created, but before this, I will try to show how we can do this. So you can see in the marketplace many different services related to OpenAI. Most of these services are vertical solutions, which offer specific experience for specific type of solutions, but we need to use OpenAI, Azure OpenAI, to create this logical container with general settings where we will be able to deploy proxy models for specific region. So let's start. Nothing specific regarding to general settings about region. As I already mentioned in my presentation, I can show it again. We have several regions with GPT-4 available. Give me 1 second for this. Yes. For the rest, probably we will have not this experience. Now I will create one in, for example, UK South. We'll name it, for example, Data Weekender, OpenAI. Let's see. And for pricing tier of this service, we have only one. After that, when we are going to deployments, we will have already option to make different proxy models for deployments, and we will be able actually to make difference throughput regarding to the tokens, which is the most specific using Azure OpenAI. We will not put now restrictions on the network, and just will create the service. Until this service is creating, I will go back to my already created services to explain several details. I created several deployments. When we are going on our OpenAI service, the main endpoint and keys actually are important for our API request later, but we need to include also in the path details related to the model deployments. So going to the model deployments, if we have specific deployment, for example, you can see that eventually for specific deployment, you can actually have variation regarding to the tokens. You can also enable dynamic quota. Here where it is possible depends on your request automatically Azure OpenAI to adjust this quota up to the limit. If we are creating a new deployment, let's go to the new one um, created for the event. I will try just to demonstrate. We have several things. So we need to choose specific deployment. We can have specific name. Depends on the model, of course, and the price. You can have different limits here. And your deployment actually is created. You are able also to use it for chats using um, chat playground and to deploy such a chat directly to web application. Kind of sample deployed chat application I can demonstrate just to save some time. Deployment is in a standard web application like this one. So you can, of course, update this application, and it is possible to integrate these functionalities in custom sites to change the UI. It is possible to make it like a non-recognizable different part from your solutions. And for example, I can ask when is path founded. And we can have using OpenAI fully functional chatbot. Of course, this chatbot can be before deployment also additionally tuned, which is something that I will not cover, but yeah, in this way, we will be able to have simple chat application. Let's now go back to actually Postman and demonstrate what we have. I will try to make scalable. Let's see. Maybe it doesn't work with sharing scalable. Sorry for this. For example, if we are able, if we want to have direct request to OpenAI consortium API, we need to have usually in our request settings related to one common endpoint, not like using deployments in Azure API. And we have settings for authorization, where is the key. The key is actually, give me 1 second. If you're using API for OpenAI, your account has such kind of settings. And our request will be against OpenAI API. Going to this example, where I'm asking for generation of small puppy playing football on the moon, every time we can have different content, different image. What is the specific here? We cannot boost more than the limit, actually the productivity. We can split, as I explained, more complex content to subparts to receive um, answer which is more accurate. When you are going into Azure OpenAI, actually we have slightly different format. If you see, because I will have a problem to zoom the screen with Zoom it because of the sharing, I will make small copy of the request and we'll try to explain it here. So you have this endpoint, which is for your Azure OpenAI service or settings. After that, you need to add your specific model. After that, a deployment. After that, you need to add the used machine learning model, and you need to add the specific version if you are using specific version. But in general, you need to go into documentation and to take a view how the whole endpoint is created. And we need to add into the body also some specific things like part of our um, content is exactly with role user, where content is our request. Sending this request, we are receiving a little bit more complex structure. in this way, and in choices, usually we are having for the first choice, again, relatively complex structure. This is the difference. Going back into Notepad because I'm able to zoom it. Structure here in our request is a little bit more rich, but we need to parse it in different scenarios. Answers from original OpenAI consortium API are in a little bit simpler format. So now we will do the same into Power Automate flows. This is probably one of the most interesting parts. So we will go into Power Automate. You have no need to use some specific functionalities more than Power Automate personal subscription for such kind of functionalities. I will go first to the sample where we are calling directly ChatGPT. Doesn't matter if we are using the new designer or the old one. We have comparing to Postman. We have the same URL. We have the same request. I'm going back to demonstrate. Here, URL, request, and authorization settings actually are going here. So when we have such kind of request, after that, of course, we need to have parsing of the response. And in this demo, actually, I am sending emails. Of course, output can be redirected to any different endpoint. Let's now test this flow. I need to turn it on. When we have flows with trigger HTTP, if you leave it on, actually it will work continuously. That's the reason when we have not demonstration to prefer to turn it off. Going back, so I will test it now. So let's see. Actually, this should be the endpoint. We will check it a little bit later. And we have into the email this URL with the images. I will try to demonstrate this also end-to-end into my email box. Of course, the URL can be checked directly from this is another one, sorry. The URL can be checked directly from from the flow. I'm just trying to show the email with received information. Maybe it is in my junk folder. Oh, apologize for yeah, exactly. And you are seeing here we have slightly different, always unique content created from OpenAI. So this is one option to integrate the OpenAI using very basic flow. Let's now see how will be the same functionality using Azure OpenAI. First, I will turn off the current functionality and we'll go into option where we have request against Azure OpenAI. As I already explained, um, Azure OpenAI offers a little more complex API, and it is recommended to take a look at the documentation because structure is a little more complex, but in general, it works in the same way. I will turn on this flow and we'll demonstrate it. So here depends on what we need, of course, to get. It is possible to have one or several parsings. Here, because structure is a little more complex, I prefer to have two steps of parsing to get easy the answer. Here I'm just using different requests related to answer around Microsoft when Microsoft is founded. After parsing, again, we have sent email where is explained when Microsoft is founded. Give me 1 second to provide also yes the email with the answer. So often we can have a little more complex situation. We can have using Power Automate a fully functional business logic layer and to hide the communication with OpenAI. This is typical if for companies need to add additional clarification and some information which will be not available for all people in the organization, or if you want to offer such kind of services for other organizations or end users. So what I'm trying to demonstrate here is the same functionality, but with additional trigger in front of the already demonstrated flow, where we are expecting um, call against endpoint available with request trigger in Power Automate to be possible to get uh, request in general format, depends on your needs, to transform it, and after that to use the same logic. I will demonstrate this. Again, need to turn on the flow. 1 second. I will demonstrate this having custom request from Postman. So here I have kind of simulated client solution where I'm using the generated endpoint from the flow. Now flow is expecting request. I will show again when it is executed. I'm sending request. In this case, to simplify the demo, a request is in the same format, but it is possible to be indifferent and to parse it. Going back to our flow. In the flow, actually, we are getting from this component the request. We are calling OpenAI, parsing response, and again, we are sending to email the final response. Just sorry, it is not this one, the another one with URL. And this time our puppy looks in different way. So different ways to call OpenAI directly using OpenAI Consortium API and Azure. Now I will go into several different flows. Let's first turn off the latest one. So I will demonstrate how we can use GPT components for actions. There are several available for Power Platform. Just I will try to show you how you can find it. Most of these components are in preview and they're from independent publishers. That means they are not internally from Microsoft. This one, Complete Your Prompt, is for actually generation of text, and there is another one for let's see, for image generation. Oh, it is from the think Yes, create an image. But again, I already created this, so I will not make new flows end to end because of limitation of our time. I will try to explain some details. If we are using GPT-3 models, well, 3.5 for 4, I think components are not available. You need to create a new connection. In the connection, you need to add everything which is needed, like specific to establish HTTP and call. And here, in the settings of your GPT action, you have much high-level, user-friendly settings. You need to add the prompt, how many answers, how many tokens, but nothing specific to the API. And we will make the same functionality after this. We will actually generate the response. Let's test it. So as you see, we have the same functionalities already implemented, and this is the response into the email. Different action is used for generation of images. Already created one. So just the action is different. Here is the explanation, what you want, number of images, size, and format, and that's all. And again, we are sending the URL using email. Let's test it. So this should be this time slightly different. So we have option to use these components. Again, you have limited flexibility here. I prefer to use HTTP actions, but for people who don't feel comfortable with this, we can make, of course, flows with GPT components. It is pretty easy, no need to know anything specifics. And now I will go to another demo, a little more specific, where we will use instead Power Automate virtual agents, Power Automate flow with specific logic that can be integrated into Microsoft Teams. So Microsoft Teams offers different triggers for Power Automate flows. In this case, is used trigger when a new channel message is added, but it is possible to actually subscribe for reply of some message on some other actions. We need to parse the message. I'm using here actually several additional helper variables to be possible to create the request for OpenAI. So this request is using classical OpenAI Consortium API. So based on prompt, which is actually parsed from the message, we are creating one request. We have parsing of the response. We have composing of the reply. Usually here is sometimes a little more tricky because structures in Power Automate flows, which comes from Microsoft Teams, are more complex, and we need to have some parsing with a little more effort than for samples. After that, everything is the same. So when we parse the response and we have actually the exact content, we are sending this to the message. If something wrong happens, we have actually here message that OpenAI is not available now. I will try to show my Teams. I created one general channel and I will demonstrate creating a new conversation. For example, we can ask SQL Server discussion. When is released the first version of Microsoft SQL Server? I will go into this flow. We'll turn it on and put it in test mode. Let's demonstrate this time with a new designer. Actually, current samples have no specifics, just the new designer allow you to use Copilot for some insights. and I will go back to Microsoft Teams and will post this topic. So I'm expecting, let's see, or maybe I need it after starting to make it, so I will try to repeat the same question. Let's see. It's interesting that I do not see here answer. Let's start again. I'm not sure if this will affect when we are in active video conference call now, but let's try it again. Okay, let's see the answer. Okay, maybe the first time it was not triggered properly. You see now answers of all these questions. So it is possible to use OpenAI in this way in a very general tasks. It is possible to include Power Automate as backbone for any kind of chatbots, and it works without need to have any kind of vertical solution. No need to have copilots, no need to have virtual agents, just you need to have simple integration with OpenAI. Additionally, if you need to have something more advanced, you will be able to integrate your open AI with custom models using any kind of language. Here samples are using C#, and to have the same integration with implementation of custom applications. What is the difference? You will be able to add, of course, a lot of additional logic here if you want, and to call this application deployed somewhere via endpoint from Power Automate or from different client. So using, for example, this sample, I can say something different. For example, let's see, red.
Just a heads up, Mihail, that
Yes.
the time is up, but we have plenty of time before the next session. So if you want to finish this demo, that's okay.
I'm finishing. Okay, thank you very much for the reminder. Card. So as you see, we have the same functionalities. So we can encapsulate using this API. Doesn't matter if we are using OpenAI Consortium or Azure in custom libraries or services, and to add, for example, more logic into the completions. This sample was with direct calling of OpenAI Consortium API, and real last is using Microsoft Azure. Actually, for using Microsoft Azure from the programming code, it is even much simpler. Okay, I will run it. So that was probably the most important. I tried to show many demos. Hope that some of these samples were interesting for most of you. What I didn't cover in this presentation is, as I mentioned already, integration of OpenAI for AI Builder. For AI Builder, it is needed to have commercial account, and you have additional options to build in your model using OpenAI functionalities. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions later, and I will be able to help you if you are interested to integrate any kind of OpenAI functionalities with Power Platform in different ways. I like this. I didn't believe a lot 1 year ago that it works so easy with Power Automate and integration with different services, but now we are implementing this in serious projects, and I can say this is the easiest way to use our solutions with OpenAI. You can make almost everything, or really everything, maybe, using only Power Platform and APIs for OpenAI. So thank you very much for the attention.